And welcome everyone to the 7th episode of Season 2 of the Shadow Collective, a Star Wars podcast. I am Darth Eldor, and as always, I am here with my good friends, Swampgrass, Andy Beads. How you both doing?
Hello there.
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you both. We know we missed a week, but we're back and we're at this thing again.
We missed a week. That's it's a lot's happened.
A little bit has happened actually.
Yeah, well, technically like 4 weeks since we did our last one, right? So because we do it every second week.
3 actually, because
oh yeah, 3. That's right. 3.
Yeah, it was a double episode this time.
The truth comes out.
All right, so here we are. Guys, want to get right into the news?
Let's dig in.
See what's going on. The first news that we had this week comes out of Deadline, and basically tells us that for the James Mangold Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi movie, writer named Bo Willimon, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Willimon. Something like that.
Has been brought on to co-write the Dawn of the Jedi movie along with him. Bo Willimon apparently he did some of the writing for Andor.
Yeah,
So,
I looked him up a little bit before the show here. He did 3 episodes, episode 8, 9, and 10, towards the end of the series there.
I mean, that in itself gives me confidence already. I mean, as much as I love that series, I thought the writing was spectacular.
He's the main writer for the show House of Cards, if you guys know that show.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
So, yeah, I mean, great news. Happy to know we got a good guy on board. I hope this movie's great because I'm actually really excited for this one. I mean, I can't wait till we start getting some news on it.
Yeah, and I mean it's nice to they're adding somebody who's had success, definitely, especially with House of Cards, because I mean I didn't watch the whole series, but from what I gathered, it was like really well received and really a popular show for people to watch when it was on the air, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, it's nice that they're, and of course, yeah, he had a couple writing episodes in Andor, so that's also a bonus as well, right? He's already kind of like, kind of had his toes in the water already with a little bit of the Star Wars stuff, right? So it's not like he's a newbie. So
yeah, and also the fact that it was those episodes towards the end that were quite awesome episodes, and obviously he's a good writer if he wrote those. So yeah, I like that.
And on top of that, you're adding him to somebody like James Mangold, who good writer on his own anyway. I mean, guy who's behind. I mean, obviously he was behind the last Indiana Jones movie. That might not be the best example of what we should be drawing out there.
But it was still pretty good, okay.
But I mean, but he was also behind Ford versus Ferrari, which I have to say was an amazing movie. I loved every minute of watching that.
I agree with that. That was a really good movie.
I heard that.
And they're saying he's currently at work making a movie called The Complete Unknown, which has Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan. That sounds like it could be an interesting movie.
That sounds really good too.
So, I mean, we know once he gets off of that project, he's going to be jumping into this, and here we go.
Nice.
So,
nice.
All right.
Yeah, we just want to hear more, right? We just want to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like I
but
said,
that's good. That's good because I know there was lots of because they lost that other, or no, was that the one where they lost the writer? That was the other one, right?
um,
I think that was a different one.
I know that this movie lost a writer at one point.
Yeah, that could be. And then they picked up Mangold.
Which I'm
So
not.
yeah, anyways, good to hear that they're getting the writing help that they need.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, this is good news to me. You give me good news, I'm not going to be upset. So
Yeah.
Yep.
we'll see it when we get there. Who wants to take on the next story?
I'll grab it. Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie. Let's go. Confirmed for May 22nd, 2026. Yeah, it was a long time coming, but it's confirmed now by Disney that that's what they're targeting. May 22nd for 2026 for the release date. Just gonna see if there's anything. A lot of this is just filler. I don't want to read the whole thing here. Hold on one sec. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, it's just talking about like the date and that there's some Marvel films coming out around that date, and there's going to be competitive. But Bob Iger is no stranger to having multiple movies around the same time that are big and trying to compete against one another. So
Yeah, he
yeah,
sabotaged Solo. He did.
yeah, yeah,
Sabotaged it, man.
he did, he did.
It was all Iger's fault.
So
Poor
hopefully they do
scheduling.
that with the Marvel movie instead of the Star Wars movie. Maybe.
Well, I mean, it says that there's nothing opening up against any big movie, but Disney's still keeping the next Avengers installment on May 1st of that year. So 2286 May 1st, the next big Avengers thing, right? So hopefully it doesn't drop. So May 22nd, May 1st. Yeah, it's kind of
Just don't push it back.
solo-ish again here.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
So I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just happy we have a date.
Yeah, it says we still don't know who's returning to the film aside from Pedro Pascal as the voice of title character and Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder as stunt doubles. Giancarlo Esposito has been lobbying for a comeback in every other interview he makes, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything given the tongue-in-cheek approach he usually takes when talking to the press and the fans. Katie Sackhoff's return is expected, but not guaranteed yet. So...
I mean, I'd be surprised if we didn't see her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not confirmed, but most likely.
Like I said, I'm just happy we have a date. It tells me things are going on schedule. Nothing's being pushed back at this point.
Yeah, and we're starting to get dates now, right? Which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is just good news in terms of the movies in general. Because, again, we kept hearing about movies. Suddenly they're getting pushed back. Suddenly they're getting taken off the docket altogether. We're not hearing that anymore.
How that date compares to what we had on that list of dates previously. Is that the first one of the dates? I wonder. Probably.
I believe it was. Or no, because weren't they talking about the Ray movie being like end of 2025?
Oh yeah, that's right. So that might be, yeah. There was something listed for end of 2025. That probably is the Ray movie. If this is, whatever, May 22nd.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Well, the Ray one's supposed to be first. I would imagine, right? So.
Right. And actually, I think I left the story out of here, but I'll throw it in before we get into the ACOLYTE stuff.
There's another thing here too. there was another date because they had put out a list, like Disney released the list of all the major movies coming out or whatever it was, and there was still an untitled one at the end of 2026 as well, December 18th of that year. So
yeah, I remember at first when we got the dates, we didn't know what any of them were, right? And we were trying to speculate, but
I don't know. Could it be who should not be named?
No.
That's the first thing I thought of.
It says the current thought is that it's going to be the new Jedi Order one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's 2026, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
so I don't know what that could be then. Yeah. Well, no,
I'm sorry,
he's not even close. He's not.
I couldn't help myself.
He's probably surfing in Hawaii somewhere. It's like,
yeah, I think he's still on a different movie or something.
That's definitely possible.
Or on a different planet, like.
Yeah,
man.
could very well be.
All right, so, Andy, you want to pick up the next one, and then I can go grab that other story?
Yeah, for sure. So this is a post off of Star Wars Newsnet. Emilia Clarke, who played Kira in Solo, is not playing Kira in Star Wars Outlaws. Also, there's new details about extra content. So, a spokesperson for Ubisoft has confirmed that to Star Wars Newsnet, that Emilia reprising her role as Lady Kira in Star Wars. So, there was a new trailer or a story trailer that popped up. I think it was this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And there was a mysterious, not mysterious, but a familiar face, I would say, because kind of had like she resembles Emilia Clarke, right? Like in the show a little bit, or in the game a little bit. So
yeah,
it definitely looked like her in the trailer. So.
Yeah, so everybody's like, "Oh, Emilia Clarke. Oh, there's Kira, all that stuff, right?" And people are like, "Is it her?" Voiced in the character, and they confirmed that it was not. So, I guess that's kind of where it's at. Like, so Lady Kira has been confirmed for Star Wars Outlaws, but Emilia Clarke is not going to be voicing her. So I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a miss for them, unless it's a scheduling conflict. But I mean, it's just a voicing thing, right? So, kind of a miss. I don't know. For me, anyways.
Yeah, to me, that's nice something that you would want to pay for.
Have the actual voice of the character, right? And I know it doesn't always work out. Obviously, like scheduling conflicts and all that stuff, but. It would have been pretty cool to kind of have that on there. But yeah, so she's not going to be in it. And I think the rest of this article kind of goes over what was kind of in that trailer too. I don't know if we want to go over that or
go over it.
Yeah.
So in that scene, so the new trailer showed a Crimson Dawn character. Yet fans were unable to make out if this was Kira. It was Jabba the Hutt, leader of the Hutt cartel, stands out as the most recognizable underworld boss Kay crosses paths with. But she'll also deal with Lady Kira, who we may know Emilia Clarke's portrayal in Solo, of Crimson Dawn, Queen Ashiga of the Ashiga clan, a new syndicate created for Outlaws, and Gorak of the Pike Syndicate. So those are all the underworld mobs, I guess, that are going to be in it.
Yeah, that's all the ones that we see in the trailer there.
Yeah, on that table, I guess the
Yeah.
when they were going across it. So new details about the game's planets and locations were also discussed. Julian Garrity, the creative director at Massive Entertainment, explained how the team is aiming for denser, tightly packed cities and outposts with a lot to discover. Garrity also elaborated on how planets have orbits. Garrity also elaborated on how planets have orbits players can fly around in before jumping into hyperspace. If you open up the map and location,
cool.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be very intensely like very detailed. Like you can do a lot of stuff. Very, very, very open world, which is right up my aisle. So if you open up a map, the location that we've built for Mirogana, one of the game's main cities, is quite compact. What we wanted to do is to have something very dense in activities rather than super expansive, where you get lost and there's too much to do. It's very, very focused on providing a dense, busy city experience. For planets, we wanted to have an orbit around them with lots of different points of interest, things to do, battles to get in, places to explore. The orbits for each one of the moons or planets that we have created had to be populated with lots of different things, and we didn't want to create endless space. So you hyperdrive from orbit, the orbit of a planet, to the orbit of another planet.
It makes sense. It's a good way to like make it open world, but not like just so expansive that you're just wandering in space.
Gone somewhere, like
or on a planet like we were talking about with galaxies, how it's just like a massive planet that you can just go forever, right? Like, it's a good thing, but also it can be potentially, take away from gameplay.
Like, I wouldn't mind a little bit more open on planets, but like the space thing, like just go from port to port. Like we don't need to like explore, like driving in space for like an hour. Like,
and keep in mind with the one thing with galaxies though was if you end up on one edge of the map, you basically loop back into the other edge of the map. It's not like you just go on forever. I mean, they did want to give you the feel that you're on a planet, and eventually, if you drove long enough, you could find your way back to where you were. Unless there was an ocean or something in the way. But it wasn't like just endless driving forever. But
so it kind of dives a little bit at the end here with or it finishes off with the various editions and extra content that have been released. There will be 3 editions: standard, gold, and ultimate editions. The 2 higher tiered editions will come with downloadable content and access to future story content being released later in the future. Be aware, however, that even the physical copies of the game must connect to the internet to install the game. That's kind of it.
Yeah, that's kind of standard for these days, I would say. Like, very few games that are like strictly offline.
So August 30th, and it'll be on PlayStation, PC, Xbox, all that stuff.
Well, 2 things I want to mention is, number one, they forgot one of the most important things that we saw in the trailer, which, because of the time period, it's placed between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. They didn't mention that when we go to Jabba's, you do encounter Carbonite Han.
That does give us a time frame, huh?
Yeah.
Right. I forgot to read that. It's in there. Sorry.
But I mean it's one of the glaring things that you see.
Yeah, you do see
in the trailer. And we're going into another Eldor's rant moment. Because I am gonna rip into this game for a minute. Like I said, I mean, like you said, we were talking about the different forms of content and the different editions of the game. And it's like I said, I was going to go pre-order this game this week, and I decided against it. I'll probably do it in the future, don't get me wrong, but I was very turned off by this. the fact that the game itself $70. In an age where, don't get me wrong, I understand price of games are going up. It's not going to change anytime soon. So it's not even the $70 that bothers me as much. It's the idea that here we are, we're going into a middle edition of this game. The middle edition of this game, you get your access to your downloadable content as it goes on, but it's suddenly $110 for that. And to me, it's absurd. I mean, you're basically paying a second full game price for 2 pieces of DLC.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
That potentially are important to get the full game experience.
And then your collector's edition, like I said, on top of that, you're already getting your DLC in the middle edition. And they add, it's now $130 for their collector's edition, and all you get out of it is a couple of downloadable skins for your ship. And it's like, are you kidding me? $130. All I really get out of this is a couple of skins. I don't get like a book. I don't get a map. I don't get anything tangible out of this. Yeah. And it's like, no, there's just no way I am forking, $130 over for a collector's edition of any game that I'm not going to have something to show for it. It's like I was saying. I mean, I ended up downloading I ended up pre-ordering the expansion for Final Fantasy 14 this week, and I just got the digital deluxe edition. It's just the way I play. I like having some of the extra stuff. But at least when they do a collector's edition, yeah, they charge $210, and yeah, I do still think that price is ridiculous. But I mean, at the end of the day, you get a box. And in that box, you have a book of art, you have a map to put on your wall, you have a statue of a new character that you can go put up on your shelf, and you have something that carries over. Every game I've seen that ever wanted to drop like a serious collector's edition gives you something tangible, whether it be a hammer, a character, statue, a sword. It doesn't have. I'm just throwing different types of things out there.
Yeah.
Make me feel like I'm getting something out of this.
Yeah, that's right. Especially if you're gonna charge a lot for it. Give us some lube. If we gotta take it, give us some lube.
yeah. At least make it worth my while to realize I'm dropping $200 to $300 on a game. So I don't know.
You're essentially dropping like an extra like $60 for 2 like digital cosmetic ship things. Like oh great, yeah. I was gonna pre-order this. I am not anymore. So
it's like I feel bad because it's like it's a game. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna play it. There's no way around that.
Oh, of course, yeah, me too.
There's no way I'm not playing this game. There's no way I'm not going to order this game. I'll probably still pre-order it in the long run, but I'm not getting anything more than just a standard edition. I just don't. I'm not playing their game. Not this time. So.
Unless you play it and the game is that good, then it might change your mind. But
and that could happen. Don't get me wrong; it could definitely happen. But you're really gonna have to change my mind this time.
Yeah.
I feel like this is more of my half-hearted rants, but still, I just had to throw. I had to stop for at least a couple seconds here and say something.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
but yeah, while we're talking about Outlaws, I should mention I seen something where basically when it first got rated in different countries and stuff, it was in Korea rated 19+. So everybody was like, "Oh, is it going to be the first like adult Star Wars game, but then yeah, it turns out just Korea is a little soft, No, it's just rated teen, so yeah, it's not that.
Interesting.
So yeah,
A little soft.
a little
Little
bit,
soft.
little bit. So that was something that I seen about Outlaws earlier. I think not this week, but last week, something like that.
Um,
What do we got next?
all right.
Acolyte stuff.
Actually, I'm gonna bring this up really quick because I forgot to add it into the notes. I thought I'd put it in there. But this is coming from Star Wars Newsnet, from a couple of days ago, and apparently, in Empire magazine, where they've released a lot of stuff about the Acolyte this month, they also had a short interview with Daisy Ridley, and they were talking to her about the different projects she's been working on. I guess an indie movie called Sometimes I Think About Dying, and a Disney movie called The Young Woman in the Sea. And obviously, while they're talking about that, obviously Star Wars, someone from Star Wars, I wonder if they'll get into talking about some Star Wars.
Of course.
But no way.
But and they asked about her. They asked her some of her basic questions, like what it's like to have your fame skyrocket once you were in these movies. Not going to get too deep into that, but in here they were talking about when she was finally given, when they finally approached her about the new movie, and she comes on, she says it wasn't a difficult decision. I didn't say yes right away. Kathy was like, take as long as you need. It was actually really funny. On the way there, I was on the phone with my best friend, and he goes, oh my god, imagine if they're doing a Ray TV show. And she's like, nah, they're probably just going to have breakfast. And she said, then she calls him back, and she's like, you'll never guess what, but they're going to be making a movie. and obviously she got her offer, and she was excited about it, and like she said, she didn't really waste much time in saying yes. But apparently in there they also mentioned she's getting the script next month. So
yeah, makes sense with the timeline we were thinking of.
Right, so it tells us we're starting to move along with that movie as well, which again, I every chance we can mention that something is moving along with one of these movies, thank God we're hearing it, because in a time where the movies have been gone for so long, we've had so much uncertainty about them along the way. I want to hear every positive note. This movie's in production. This movie's in pre-production. This movie, they just finished filming it. We're gonna go to editing. I want to know it all, because it just keeps me excited that I'm gonna get to go sit in a movie theater and watch a Star Wars movie again.
You heard it here, folks. Eldor wants to know their entire schedule, including their bathroom breaks.
Let's not get that deep, but
hey, you said pretty deep. Okay, you want everything. Okay.
At least lunch breaks. At least lunch breaks.
Hey, you never know. It might have a really good lunch one day.
That means they're not making movies, so that's yeah.
Yeah, only positives.
Might be a really good lunch that day. I don't know.
Today at lunch, Johnny had a great idea.
Nah, today's lunch was terrible. They just had chicken salad. It was nothing special. All right. I mean,
yeah.
Again, like I said, I'm just happy to hear they're moving along. That's all it is.
Now the next big thing we want to hear from that movie is John Boyega joining the cast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, we were saying before that would be a great way for them to kind of make good on how they kind of did dirty by his character, just kind of had him disappear from the movies. Like he was there and then, but not really there, you know.
First movie he was there. Second movie he was a zombie.
Yeah.
Third movie he was
just
on
kind of
drugs.
in the background. He was stuck in the sand for a while. Like, yeah.
But yet they still found time for him to go run out of nowhere and just scream, "Ray!" for
Ray!
no reason at all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He was delusional.
They needed us to know that he likes her. We didn't know that.
A delusional Finn.
we didn't know that he liked her until then.
All right, I mean, that's all I really had to cover on that one. Just wanted to get it out there. So
It's out there.
Now, if you want to get into the next, we can go on to the next one from here. So,
Right.
Alrighty. Who's doing it?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
All right. Yeah, I'll go for it. So the Acolyte full Empire magazine coverage drops with new images and character details. So new images of Star Wars The Acolyte have been revealed in the latest issue of Empire magazine, along with plenty of interesting bits of information from the outlet in their massive coverage of the series. Snippets from their big article have been making their way online over the past week, but with the issue now available, more images and quotes are available for us to dissect. And series is described as a mystery thriller, and Leslie Headland is already on record talking about how it will be a slow build, with each episode adding more information and keeping the audience guessing. But co-lead Lee Jung-jae, who plays Master Soul in his first major role since his Emmy win for Squid Game, added that it's going to get even more intriguing and gripping because of that detective genre. I can't imagine it being like a slow build with each episode.
I can already see
we
that.
have like 6 episodes. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, I can already see like people going, okay, wait, 6 episodes, slow build. Okay, this is gonna be bad.
yeah. So you're telling us we're gonna have 1 episode worth watching? Is
what do you mean,
trying
slow
to
build
say?
into the next season, or is it?
But sadly, that brings me back to our last episode of this podcast when we're gonna sit here and say 6 episodes, slow build, 20 minutes episodes.
20-minute episodes.
Yeah, 20-minute. Every time she tells us more about it, it's getting worse and worse.
What is going to be like
happen?
one episode and somebody's going to like wake up, come out of their house and like walk down the hill and episode's over.
It's like she's like piece by piece trying to tell us, yeah, it's mostly filler. It's mostly filler, guys. Just be prepared.
I mean, the next episode's gonna be, and the last episode, person walks out to the thing. When they get to the episode, they basically try and say, "What? That's the end of this episode."
On previous episode.
Yeah, 5 minutes of recap, 10 minutes of the actual episode, and then 5 minutes of what's gonna happen on the next episode.
And then 15 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
Of all the people that made the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Wow.
This is gonna be great. Can't wait.
Yeah.
It looks great, but yeah, it's already setting up to be, I don't know.
Yeah, so we got some behind the scenes shots from that magazine article. It's saying here too. And yeah.
In all the behind the scenes shots too, it's Leslie Headland.
It is.
In a red coat.
Yeah.
There's a red coat again.
There's some interesting images. Maybe I should put the link here in the chat just in case anybody does want to check out these images. That's live on Twitch with us right now. yeah, for anyone who's watching in the futures, you can find it by searching Star Wars Newsnet, Empire Magazine coverage of ACOLYTE. I was just about to read part of this, but then it like drops a F-bomb. I'm like, what is this? Okay, so set to premiere on Disney Plus, guys, June 4th at 6 p.m. PT and or Pacific time, I guess that is, 9 p.m. Eastern, June 5th at 2 a.m. BST with the first 2 episodes and weekly release schedule for the remaining 6 episodes after that. So that's good too. We got dates.
I mean, that's it's a confident. They did this with the Ahsoka show. They were so confident that we were going to love it. They actually put it on early and allowed us to watch it the night before. But I was much more happy with the Ahsoka show. I won't lie. I was happy with the Ahsoka show at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's not a lot here, but leading into it, there's a lot of reason to be excited for the Ahsoka show.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things where I did hear some negative stuff about Ahsoka show, but mostly positive. ACOLYTE is kind of feeling a little opposite of that. Everything we hear is, we're trying to keep as positive as possible, but it's they're making it pretty tough here. They're making it tough on us.
But that's the hard part of it. It's because it's not because of what I've seen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't look at this trailer and I wasn't blown away by it. I didn't look at it and was like, oh God, I can't wait to watch this. This is the greatest, looks like the greatest thing ever. No. But at the same time, the trailer didn't turn me away either. It's all this news that keeps coming around about short episodes, slow burns. That's what's starting to make me wonder and worry.
Yeah.
It's like,
like that on last episode, how she was like, oh, let's have all these interesting lightsabers and everybody loves cantinas. It doesn't fill us with confidence that this story is going to be fantastic when the front what do they call it, the show writer is that what it's called, show writer, showrunner is saying things like this.
It's like almost at a point where you almost want to sit there. If I'm Kathleen Kennedy, I'm kind of walking up to and saying, shut the hell up.
Yeah,
you're making it worse.
Let's keep it till after this show comes out, eh?
So would Kathleen Kennedy say that, or would she be saying the same thing? How much of a Star Wars fan is Kathleen Kennedy? You know what I mean? I know she's been with the company for a while, but
is she out talking about this show right now?
I mean,
Kevin,
she's not, but I don't know. Kathleen Kennedy's said some pretty stupid stuff over the years too, so
yeah, it's true.
But anyways,
either way, the less she should say less. Yeah, it's just.
But I agree.
She's not helping the negativity that's happening. So
it's like for the fans, she's like, oh, there's gonna be canteens and lightsabers and yada yada. So trying to sugarcoat it and it's how's the writing, how's the story gonna be like?
Yeah, it doesn't come across the way that she thinks it does. She thinks it's like, oh, I'm appealing to all the fans, but the fans are looking at her like, do you even know what you're talking about?
And sadly, that's what it is.
Yeah,
100% what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The next article is also a Leslie Headland thing. So
there's a few of them. Yeah.
We might as well just keep moving, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Leslie Headland explains Vernestra Rose evolution from the books to the Acolyte. And this is out of Star Wars Newsnet. So the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland confirmed last month that only one character from the High Republic novels will be making the Force jump into the live-action series. Vernestra Rose, who's a very popular character in the Republic.
Yes.
All the books and stuff, right? So,
and she also wields a lightsaber whip, purple lightsaber whip that we're going to see in the movie.
Which we may see.
I think they did. I think they did confirm that it will be in it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Padawan whom readers of the books have grown to love is now 116 years old and a much more tempered and respected Jedi Master. She's also played by Headland's wife, Rebecca Henderson. And this is Headland talking. I absolutely love Vernestra. You can tell because I cast my wife. She joked in her interviews with Empire magazine. They have also revealed the picture above featuring, so you guys can't see the picture, but in the picture is Jedi Master Saul, who's played by Lee Young Jae. But the character has evolved a lot over the past century. Headland explained that that has resulted in her going from this fun-seeking adventure character in the books to a little bit closer to the type of Jedi that we see in Phantom Menace. So in the Phantom Menace, there were the Jedis that were a little bit more, I guess, peaceful, I guess, right?
Yeah.
A little bit more I don't know.
They had hops. They could jump around. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
They had hops. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there were points in the movies where, I mean, you had them walking around. You had Yoda and Mace Windu walking around saying, you know, the children, they're getting more bold. They're a little more overconfident in their abilities than they usually should be. Maybe some of that plays into it. But I think we have to. I don't know exactly where she needs to go with this in general. But
I don't know.
I think she means they can jump high. That's my guess.
They can jump really high. Yeah, Jedis can jump. They're really good at jumping. So you take out of this.
But mostly in Phantom Menace. If you watch all the movies, that's when they jump the most. Is Phantom Menace. So
true though, yeah.
They're like almost every scene. They're like, oh, let's jump. You know, yeah.
It's just like.
Yeah, like it's one of the only movies that happens. They're just constantly jumping everywhere. So yeah,
Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor jumping all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Master, look at this.
Obi-Wan, stop messing around.
Actually, in the article, they even make reference to it. It says making the Force jump into the live series.
Yeah, right. Making the Force jump.
Yeah, so be prepared. Jumps. It's happening.
Yeah, she also went into what Venestra's long life has meant for her. Because she has been around for so long, she has basically met everyone that has come through the temple and seen them all die their natural deaths if they're living a natural human life. She's known Saul since he was a tiny child. I don't know, like whatever. Okay. Honestly, yeah, I'm just going, okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we'll find out when we watch the show. We didn't need that from this article.
I feel like it's either adding details that, like you said, we don't need to know until until we see it in the show, or we may not even need to care about it in general because it's not going to
come up. Like, she's probably just like talking.
Yeah, we could probably they'll probably talk to each other at some point during the show. Be like, they know each other. Boom, we know it. Yeah.
Well, maybe it'll be a flashback of them being kids. I don't know. Like,
he was a kid and she was an adult.
Or he was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of zoned out when she was talking. All right.
All right. So could probably move on from that one, eh?
The next one.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next Acolyte one.
Let's see. This one involves, also from StarWarsNewsNet.com. This was an Empire exclusive. We're talking about, they're showing off the new Wookiee Jedi named Baraga, and they were talking with Junius Suetamo, which obviously we all know as the newest mighty Chewbacca. Well, actually, no, he'll be. Wait a minute. No, he's going to be Master Kelnaka. So why are we talking about Baraga?
Yes. Oh no, the Baraga is it's another Wookiee. I think it's another Wookiee Jedi or something in the stories.
Okay.
But he was another Wookiee Jedi in the High Republic. That's what it was.
Okay, all right, maybe that's it. All right. Well, so Leslie Headland's The Acolyte will be introducing our first live-action Wookiee Jedi, Master Kelnaka, played by Junius Suetamo. This much was announced a year ago at Star Wars Celebration. With the show less than 2 months away, we're getting a few more details now, along with a brand new behind-the-scenes image, which the picture we have just is our Wookiee Jedi basically sitting on a crate looking at the camera. Yeah.
And then another
something. And then another image where he's just kind of looking down at his hands or something.
Yeah, so I mean, nothing too exciting as far as pictures, but I mean, maybe if they had him with like a lightsaber in his hand or something, who knows?
It could be the hilt of his lightsaber. We just don't see it, right?
It's possible.
It's probably added in after.
But anyway, Suetamo was recently part of Empire Magazine's big coverage of the show and discussed his participation in the series, as well as a few details about the character. To him, playing a Jedi was a dream come true. Ever since I was 5 years old, I've been fantasizing about being a Jedi, like every kid. When the word Jedi was first mentioned in talks with the Acolyte, I felt really excited. Like a little kid who finally gets his favorite toy on his birthday. Absolutely. I mean, it's exactly what I expect him to say. I will admit that is one thing I am interested in seeing in this show is a Wookiee Jedi. I mean, given we've seen like animation, but to me it's not the same.
Yeah, for sure. Live action is gonna be dope.
But yeah, Suetamo.
Yeah, that kind of sorry to interrupt. That kind of reminds me of like Samuel Jackson talking about when he found out he was going to be a Jedi in Mace Windu, and then they brought out like a case with all the lightsabers, and he's just like kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that same type of story with this fellow, but a Wookiee Jedi, of course.
Yeah, Suetamo is no stranger to Star Wars franchise now. Having played Chewbacca in the last two movies from the sequel trilogy, as well as Ron Howard's solo A Star Wars Story. But he sees Kelnaka as the antithesis of Chewbacca. And he says, Kelnaka being a Jedi, that sets certain expectations on how you carry yourself in the line of duty. There are certain assumptions that can be made as to whether he lets his emotions take control of him, to the extent that Chewbacca would, for example. It was very interesting to bake that into the character and try to personify that on screen.
So yeah, I wonder if they're gonna portray that as like a conflict where he's like, oh wait, control myself, like, show the sort of conflict between his animal nature and the the Jedi training and focus that he has.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a. I would actually be interested in seeing that how he plays it. So
yeah.
Let's see. Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca in the original trilogy and The Force Awakens, used to describe him as a mime, pointing to his successor in the suit. Audience doesn't understand what he's saying exactly, but they interpret his mannerisms and every little twitch and every little movement and roar. Which, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for him roaring and basically Han coming back with a response or something, who would ever know what's being said? Because it's not like they ever put captions underneath them or anything.
That's right.
But that's one thing I always loved about Star Wars is they never really needed to put captions underneath anybody. I mean, I think they did it for Jabba the Hutt and Greedo, I believe.
Yeah, because he does have a period there when he's jabbering on for a little bit.
And even then, you could have probably still pulled it off without it, which would have been great. Let's see if there's anything else here worth. So Tom also addressed the Wookiee in the room, as there was another Jedi of the species present in High Republic era stories, Buriaga. The athlete turned actor said he wanted his character to feel different from Buriaga, and that he hasn't read much about him. I was aware of the character, and I talked to the High Republic writers at the convention. I also wanted to differentiate Kelnaka from Buriaga and not copy too much from the stories. Okay, so
that makes sense. That makes sense. So that if they introduce that character, we're not having like overlap or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, with the possibility of the High Republic stuff coming out too, right? So we could see something.
Yeah, that pretty much covers the story. I'm interested to see what we're gonna get as far as that. I mean, he did a great job with Chewbacca in the absence of the late Peter Mayhew, so I don't see where he would do a bad job with this one. And I hope he's very successful. That's all I really got.
Yeah, I agree. Jedi Wookiees are cool, so can't wait to see that.
Cool.
I wonder if we'll ever get like a Sith Wookiee. That would be really cool.
Should be something interesting though. All right, so who wants to move on to the next one?
Where are we? Oh, right there. Oh, that's a good one.
It's a big one, but I think it covers a lot of stuff we've covered already. I think it's like a.
No, we haven't covered that at all. That came out during the after our last episode.
What? The Tales of the Empire?
Trailer?
Yeah, but that's like this article is not all of that because it does go through like it goes through everything we kind of went through. Like they do a news breakdown. So like in the title it says Star Wars News Breakdown.
I see.
But the Tales from the Empire thing's a little bit down.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say everything else has kind of been covered, but that's the one important one that we really need to cover.
Yeah, so just skip the
skip most of that. Yeah, just go down to the
breakdown.
Tales. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
I can find it. Oh yeah, there it is. All right. Oh no, that still says news breakdown.
Keep on scrolling.
Almost there.
Holy moly. How long is this thing?
Keep on scrolling. Star Wars News Breakdown from Tales of the Empire.
All right. Waves of shock spread through social media on Thursday when Lucasfilm announced completely out of the blue that the fully finished 6-episode animated series of shorts titled Tales of the Empire will be coming to Disney Plus on May 4th. the company had managed to keep the secret under lock and key, which made the announcement all the more special. Yes. Oh, hold on. I'll skip that commentary part. I guess that's the rest of the sentence. Hold on. So, anyways, we thought it was under development, not ready to come out, and we got a trailer. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Of course, this is semi-minor news considering the secrets of animated projects are usually better kept than those from live action ones, but it was such a fun announcement that it doesn't even matter. Kudos to the entire team, which admittedly has been getting better at keeping the leaks under control. Aside from the late year buzz, for instance, they almost managed to do the same for this January's Mandalorian and Grogu announcement as a feature film that would go into production this year. Almost. The Tales of the Empire said that will follow the model first established by Tales of the Jedi, a series, by the way, that they also managed to also keep under wraps until the schedule for Star Wars Celebration 22 was announced. Up until then, there'd been a I don't even understand what that means, but anyways, yeah. So basically, it's going to be the same idea. 2 Star Wars characters, 3 different moments of their lives, and yeah, animated, of course. In one case, we'll be filling the blanks of Morgan Elspeth's life before becoming the Magistrate, who we met in Mandalorian Season 2, and perhaps we'll also learn what happened between her meeting Din Djarin and her return in Ahsoka in another. And we'll finally learn about what happened to Barriss Offee after Season 5 finale of the Clone Wars. It's been a minute. Yeah, that's very, very exciting to me to bridge that
Finally.
story gap.
Yep.
Finally.
Yep.
Like, because there's so much curiosity for me about, like, was the was Sidious, was like Palpatine gathering potential inquisitors for the future before he even had the Empire? Like, was she like hanging out with more Force users and stuff like that? Anyways, it's interesting stuff to me for sure. Interesting to see.
Well, I think it's just big because, I mean, how many times during the Ahsoka show do we look at that Inquisitor and say, is that Barriss? Is that Barriss?
Right. Yeah. And then it wasn't. It was just a Night Sister fart or something. Anyways.
Yeah.
Night Sister fart.
But yeah, the title is definitely intriguing. Why are both of their stories related? Yes, Morgan Elsbeth has passed with Thrawn, but as a Night Sister, what are her ties to the Empire exactly, and why is Barriss part of those Tales of the Empire? Very excited about Tales of the Jedi, but to be honest, mostly excited to find out more about Dooku with that one, and yeah. Tales of the Jedi Season 2 is still on schedule to come out later this year. Says, I'm still a bit baffled that Dave Filoni didn't announce Tales of the Empire when he said that Jedi would be getting another season. But in the end, I don't think it means anything for it other than that we'll be getting twice as many Star Wars tales this year. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm not arguing about that at all.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all it says here about that. But I just wanted to say, like, that trailer was so
man,
good.
the trailer
so
was
good.
sick.
Yeah.
When Grievous, when she's fighting Grievous.
Oh, Grievous!
Oh,
I was
that was
Grievous.
so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, it looks so good.
It's funny because when the trailer started and I'm looking, it's like, Morgan Elspeth, why do I care about this? And then all of a sudden they start going through the trailer. It's like, okay, you gave my interest.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna also serve a purpose to fill in kind of how that battle of the with the Night Sisters and the Separatists on Dathomir when they all got kind of wiped
They
out
were
there.
extinct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
it
gonna
does. I'm pretty sure it
see
does
more of
show
that.
that she's like on the hill or something like that, and like she's watching the whole thing happen or whatever. I feel.
Yeah, it seems like we're gonna learn more about that, so that's very interesting to me too.
I mean, it also has me wondering, as we get to that point, one of the first things I'm thinking about is, will we see Marin? Because that's something that would make sense. Even if she's just young, and Morgan just looks at her and says,
she would be young,
behind
right?
or something, or
even if it just kind of like shows her as like a glimpse, like her with her parents at some point or something like that.
And I would be fine with that. I mean, just like the way they did in Tales of the Jedi when Ahsoka was doing her training, and you just happen to see Kanan off in the corner with Dappa Balaba, and it's just kind of a glimpse thing. It's not like they're really trying to like drop anything important. Just
they're not trying to like shoehorn it into the story or anything.
Yeah, they just happen to be there watching her training at that point. Okay, that's kind of cool to see. The side that really has me sad about this is the Barris side.
Oh yeah.
Because God, we've all wanted to know, and there's so many questions.
And do you see how many people are like trying to compare like Barris and the second sister? Like,
yeah.
All right.
They're like, oh, it's her. I'm like, ooh.
But there's so.
It does show another Inquisitor that to me kind of looks like seventh sister, the one that was in Rebels with the fifth brother.
Or was that what I'm talking?
No.
It's probably the seventh sister.
Yeah, probably is.
Yep.
Probably.
My bad.
The one with the like greenish skin or yellowish or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the one I meant.
I
There's too many numbers. Okay.
The thing that gets me is obviously the one that goes in and talks to her in the beginning when they release her binds and everything. She was in Ahsoka. That Mary Allen.
Oh, okay.
If you look at the end when Vader comes walking through the room and they all start to kneel down, Sparris, the one from Ahsoka, there's the one that Ahsoka bodied in the last part of Tales of the Jedi.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then the fourth one there was everyone's favorite Night Sister part.
Merrick.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Merrick was there. Yes, he was. Yeah. He was right next to the one that had the mask. The one that was in Ahsoka.
That's the part that really interests me. Is now here we are. I'm not saying that Barris is going to figure out that Vader is Anakin Skywalker. Well, how is Vader going to react when he sees Barris?
Right. Yeah, right, eh?
That's the one I'm really interested in. Is he?
Yeah, because there's no way he doesn't know who she is.
Right. And at some point, you almost start to wonder: is he gonna have Barris around to use as an example for everything? Is he gonna just sit there angry one day and just kill her off for no reason? I'm curious as to where this is gonna go.
Which he did when he trained, when the Inquisitors, like a lot of them, he just killed because they just weren't, they didn't do what he wanted them to do up to his standards or up to whatever, or if he was having a bad day. You're done.
Well, also, I remember, I think I was telling you guys, I watched this like comic book series on YouTube. A guy makes a really awesome video where Palpatine sends, I can't remember what it is, like 20 Inquisitors after him, and then they trap him in a room and he just kills them all. So, yeah. He doesn't have much mercy for these Inquisitors.
That's for anybody.
Sure. Yeah, it's true. So, as he shouldn't.
Vader's fist.
But like I said, I mean, it definitely has me interested in where that's gonna go, because I mean, I want to see her training, because that alone looked interesting. The way she was fighting the Grand Inquisitor. Grand Inquisitor was basically making it look easy. And there's just
pretty neat to see him back again.
The other thing is, towards the end, when I'm not sure if it was her that they showed her running towards the fight, when it looked like the other Inquisitor was fighting a Jedi. Who were they fighting? Is it someone we know? There's a lot there. It's like it's like, did they capture this person? Did they kill them? I'm just really excited for where this is gonna go. And it's like, I had enough to do on May 4th already. Now I gotta find a way. I gotta fit this into the schedule somewhere.
You can do it.
Oh, I'm not worried I won't be able to.
I'm going to a Star Wars themed punk rock show
on the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm going to the Rebel Force Radio podcast, which I'm really excited for that. Those are two guys I listen to quite often, so they're really good.
And I'm doing nothing.
Damn it, Andy.
So you'll have time to watch Tales of the Empire.
That's true. Yeah, I'll be sitting home watching it for everybody.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll be texting you guys. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Hey, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
No. I'm just gonna keep saying, "Oh my gosh!" I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
OMG! OMG! OMG!
Just sending like gifts like that. Big Bang Theory one.
Oh man. All right. Anything else we want to say about the about Tales of the Empire, or
No, go watch it again.
Yeah.
The trailer?
I want to watch it again after we're done this.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I want to
Yeah,
slow it
that's
down.
the thing. When I watched it, when I watched it on my phone, so I should watch it again with like my speakers and everything.
Yeah, everything in.
Blast it. Yeah.
Where you can like pause it, take a look.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot there. You'll enjoy it. You know you will.
Looks like we have another Leslie Hasland Acolyte article here.
Yeah. Is it my turn or is it?
Oh yeah. That's the. Yeah, could be. I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
All right, I'll pick it up. All right. So this one here, also from Star Wars Newsnet, covering the extensive coverage of the Acolyte that Empire Magazine put out this week. And what's happening here?
They're really pushing all that in our face, man. The Acolyte's been like, I like go to sleep and I dream Acolyte right now. Like,
yeah.
There we go. Sorry. So this one's titled Leslie Hadland compares Carrie-Anne Moss character to Trinity from The Matrix. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
No way. No way.
Really?
Who would have done
man.
that? We definitely did not do that on the last episode. We definitely did not make that comparison at all.
So it's like anybody who's watched that trailer hasn't made these assumptions already.
Yeah, no way. No way.
So Empire Magazine's coverage of the Acolyte continues with a new look at one of the series' most anticipated characters. And in the recent trailer, Carrie-Anne Moss was showcased in a fight with Amanda Stenberg's May. Now, the inspiration behind Moss's character has been revealed, or confirmed, depending on who you ask. Speaking to Empire, showrunner Leslie Headland says that her Master Indara is very much, quote unquote, very much inspired by Trinity, Moss's iconic role from the Matrix franchise.
So, yeah, like during that fight, she does the exact move that Trinity does with the like. You know,
it's cool. It's cool to see, right? It's like yeah, we already know that you kind of it was
you showed us in the trailer her doing the exact moves that she did in the Matrix. So
and none of us were surprised by it because we knew that she was capable of doing this.
I think that one scene where she spins Neo and Neo goes like this. That one scene is it's the same thing. Like
it happens in the
So okay.
Shocker, guys! Spoiler alert.
So Leslie Headland added, quote unquote, I personally wanted to see someone who had the highest status you can imagine in a Force Fu fight. Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
The fact that we called it Force
Fu fight?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I really wish we didn't do that. Somebody that would come in and you immediately would be like, oh, that's the most powerful Jedi in the room. And that's Trinity.
Oh, man.
She's just like pouring confidence in this show into me, you know, just brimming with confidence about it.
When I read Force Fu fight, I was like, Force Fu? All right.
It's like even as I said it, it's like I can already hear the collective head slap.
Yeah. Thanks for the laugh, Leslie. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay, so
just a bundle of laughs. Just a bundle of laughs she is.
I'm not saying it again. Is it a brand new type of fighting style in the galaxy far, far away? Perhaps. If anything, it seems similar in a spiritual sense to Moss's Matrix co-star Keanu Reeves in the quote-unquote gun fu style established in the John Wick franchise. As was the case with Reeves, Moss was very involved in the day-to-day action. No kidding. She explained what it was like training and preparing to take on the role of a Jedi Master. Within my soul and my spirit, to get to play this Jedi Master and to train for the fight was an amazing experience. A part of me forgot how much I love action. I love it. It's hard, but I was just really thrilled that I could do it, and I wanted to do it well. Give me another take. I can expect that from Carrie-Anne Moss. She finally gets to do some more action type stuff. She's excited to be doing it. I'm excited for her because it looked pretty good.
She does it well. So glad that she's like,
with no
as
sweating.
excited about it as I am. Because like when I seen that she was part of the show, I was pretty excited about that. She's great.
It's like, now give me a situation where I can see her doing this with the lightsaber in her hand, and I'll be even more excited. Because I want to see her in a lightsaber duel. Just saying. I know I'm not the only one thinking it.
I don't think you're either.
So, I mean,
what did we say last time? We found out that it was green, the lightsaber from the toy.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
But then again, this thing being the slow burn 20-minute episodes, when are we going to get to it too? So.
We might get to see the lightsaber ignited. It might be the cliffhanger for the next episode. She's like, ready to go.
She also, remember too, she said that we're going to see lots of lightsabers because the fans like to see lots of lightsabers. So
yeah, and we saw it all in the trailer.
Yeah,
that's true.
All in a row. That was it.
Yeah, it's actually like that part that we seen is like one scene.
That's
all the lightsabers.
All the lightsabers.
One scene. That's one episode.
Yeah, no more lightsabers before or after. What?
Yeah.
And it's in a cantina or outside of a cantina, and
I think we're outside of a cantina. Yeah.
Yeah,
right outside of it.
Yeah, little did we know that one trailer was 3 episodes all bunched up into one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so that kind of covered everything with this story. I mean, God, I don't even. This feels like an article that didn't even need to happen. We all knew this going in. I mean, obviously, I'm happy for Carrie Ann Moss to get her chance to do this, and I hope I hope she comes out of this doing well. I hope she's not killed off early, so we can even see more of her as they go through God knows how many seasons of this. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. For all the making fun of this we've done, I do still want this to be a good show.
Of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just that she makes us like not believe that it's going to be.
Yeah, it's just shut up
to some degree,
and stop talking it down so that we worry more.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
Yeah, but also like you were saying last time too, hopefully they don't just like throw Sith in their faces so much, because like it was a secret for, centuries or whatever, so we can't just all of a sudden start introducing all this like non-secretive Sith,
Well, it's like I said, if you can introduce them, but nobody can know about them.
Yeah.
The second someone knows, they have to die.
They have to die. Yeah.
But it's also like a mystery thriller thing, right? So you kind of have to play it in the sense that you shouldn't be showing these characters until they're discovered, or the clues lead you to these. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Oh, this sounds like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Good God. Please don't do that.
Mask comes off. Mr. Trailer.
What? It was the principal.
It was the principal. Goodness. I would have got away with it. Oh, man.
Excuse me. But yeah, that's all I really got on this one. So that kind of covers all the news. We've covered the Tales of the Empire. So let's get into the Bad Batch. We're at a point now where we're starting to pick up steam. We're just about getting to those last couple episodes before it's all over, and we're really about to. It's starting to get exciting. So I'm
May 1st is the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah, spoiler alert for anybody listening. We're about to get into the contents of the Bad Batch, currently airing on Disney Plus, season 3. So yeah, if you haven't watched that, make sure you pause the podcast, go watch those, come back, watch the rest of the podcast. That's right.
Yeah. Make sure you don't leave us on pause and not come back, because that could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just come back, all right?
Come back to us. Come back to us. Come back to us. Not to sound creepy or anything. Okay.
Yeah, what are you waiting for? Just come
Not
back.
at all. Not at all.
Just come back. Just get it.
All right, so who wants to cover the first episode?
I got
What do you
it.
guys want me to do?
Me.
All
right. Episode 9, The Harbinger, directed by Stuart Lee, written by Jennifer Corbett. Shan's contact, Asajj Ventress, comes to Pabu. She tells
Called it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it said the Harbinger is going to be Ventress. She tells the Bad Batch that the M count signifies a person's, is that innate connection to the Force, and starts testing Omega's ability using Jedi techniques. The Bad Batch are concerned when they realize Ventress was a separatist assassin during the Clone Wars, but Omega trusts her. Of course, Omega trusts everybody. Like,
Yeah.
During the final test at sea, Ventress inadvertently summons a sea monster, which attacks them. She pacifies the creature and rescues Omega, gaining the Bad Batch's trust. Ventress tells Omega that her M count is low, but later indicates to the others that she was lying about this. She also warns them that they may not be safe on Pabu. I was a little tiny bit underwhelmed in this episode. I don't know. I
Really?
feel I love the whole Ventress thing and I loved it all. It was just like poof, there she is. And then it's just maybe I was just expecting more. Maybe I was going into this episode going I had a little bit higher expectations, and you know how you go into movies and you're like, "Oh, this is going to be great." But it wasn't great, and then you're kind of I don't know. I felt a little underwhelmed, but that's just me. What do you guys think?
Well, we know that Eldor did not want it to be like a live action, her not as like a memory or anything like that. She's actually there, but she does say, like, even though they said we're not getting any answers, she does say, "I still have more lives," which to me kind of
He has a few lives left. Yeah.
Yeah, she has a few lives left. So, which to me kind of indicates because her body was returned to Dathomir, that some kind of Night Sister magic or talisman or something is what gives her this extra life. And maybe she has this talisman still and she can revive to some degree 1 or 2 times or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That's what I kind of think theoretically is what they're saying there. But one thing I really liked is that part where she does inadvertently summon the sea monster. That was pretty dope when she's like getting the what was it, fish or stingrays or something like that, and they're getting them to do like all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, yeah, giant sea monster, and it's very cool. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna lie to you guys if I say I love this and I don't. And I only say that because I feel like in Dark Disciple she was given a fitting end.
But yeah, so what I meant there is like I found out from somebody who read that book that they do say her body was returned to Dathomir, which of course we know Dathomir, that's what they do is they bring each other back from the dead. It's kind of their thing, right? So
and you're right, and I'm gonna have to accept that because that's what they're gonna go with. But like I said, it's just when you give somebody a fitting end though, let him be gone. That being said, what did I get out of this episode? A couple of things. Number one, obviously, none of us are surprised that Omega has force capabilities. None of us are surprised that Asajj was able to easily find this place. And it kind of tells me that at the end of the day, it's basically set this thing up where at the end, no matter whatever happens, I mean, because we know Omega's not going to end up with the Bat Batch at the end of this. I think we knew that going in, but I have a feeling that at the end, and that this is my prediction, she's gonna find herself off and away with the Asajj Ventress. So it's gonna be her leaving with Asajj at the last episode to train as a, I don't know if we're gonna say a Jedi, but a Force user.
To help her with her powers, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't see. I mean, it's not like I see her becoming a full-fledged Jedi or anything. They'll stay out of the way. They'll probably go do bounty hunter stuff, whatever. Maybe there's another spin-off coming with that. I don't know. Not so sure how excited I would be to watch something like that.
Have another show with an older Omega.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Like I said,
Omega and Batcher in the
Batcher
Outer
and
Rim.
Omega, yeah.
But
and GONKY.
Journey.
But I mean, at this point, that is what it is. Yeah, that's all I got.
I mean, I did enjoy seeing her, obviously, and I enjoyed them like kind of digging up that information, how they kind of brought up, oh, she was in the, they didn't know who she was at first, and they'd read in some files that she's the separatist assassin for, in the Clone War. Liked all, them revealing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know. I feel like I was expecting more. That's why I say that I'm a little underwhelmed. I'm just like, I was expecting more from this episode. You know what I mean? But
I was honestly
saving.
expecting less. Like I thought, like we kind of seen in the trailer that part where she has the lightsaber, right? So we knew that part was gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't realize we were gonna see her like demonstrating how to like summon the sea creatures and all that kind of like awesome stuff.
That was kind of
that was pretty cool.
That's kind of
thought
different, yeah. And it's kind of it's kind of neat to see, because I mean I didn't read the book, so I don't know her like how she was or whatever as a character. You can kind of tell like she's trying to be neutral. She's trying to be kind of, I wouldn't say good, but she's not trying to be the way she was before. Like she realizes
like
the things that she did before
that.
were not, she doesn't like what she did before or whatever it was. And but
yeah,
it's a weird side of her, right? I'm not used to it, right?
Yeah, in the book she like has a relationship with Quinlan Voss, right? Or somebody like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So possibly, at that point kind of reflecting on, her past as a, power hungry, crazy war criminal, crazy Sith type force user person.
She's a war criminal.
Yeah.
I think at this point, was this the first time? Because I know they obviously mentioned the M count stuff. But is this the first time that they say that it's linked to the Force, or was there another episode that?
I think this is the first point where they reveal it to the Bad Batch. Like I think us viewers, we kind of knew like midichlorians and what they are.
Obviously, yeah, because we put that together. I think when they first said it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because but I'm just trying to like, because I mean,
it was the first time that they actually.
It feels like it's the first time they explained it, or
the first time they gave a technical explanation in the show. We just kind of knew it existed. We kind of knew they were testing for it, but they never really said why. It's one of those things where if you haven't watched any of the movies and you've just been watching these cartoons, you wouldn't know.
Right.
Yeah. It's true.
So
yeah, I think that's it for that episode. I don't think there's
if we say anything more, then we're starting to get into other episodes. So might as well just keep going.
Keep rocking on here.
All right,
I'll do the next one if you want. All right, so episode 10, Identity Crisis, directed by Saul Ruiz, written by Amanda Rose Munoz. Hemlock imprisons Nala Se, believing she helped Omega and Crosshair escape, and reluctantly promotes Boring Emery to the new lead scientist of Project Necromancer. Emery boringly, slowly becomes disillusioned with the Empire as she learns that the subjects being tested are children with high M counts, and witnessed the cold manner in which they were being treated. She also sees Bane deliver a new child subject who is even younger than the others. Tarkin threatens to take away Hemlock's funding if the ADS does not produce the desired results. CX2 reports to Hemlock that he is close to finding Omega after learning about her connection to Fee by torturing Sid.
I don't remember the torturing of Sid.
He does mention it. he does
Yeah,
mention
he
it.
mentions that he quote unquote questions her.
Okay.
Yeah, he just says like he squeezed it out of her or something flavorful like that, like Cad Bane you would. It was really awesome to see him. I don't know if you guys felt that.
Oh yeah, it's always great to see Cad. I think.
I mean,
I love it.
I mean, as far as the torturing Sid, it couldn't happen to a better person.
Yeah.
Let's face facts. I mean, she sold them out in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we knew she was slimy from the get-go.
Slimy Sid.
So I mean, at that point, you kind of get what you get.
Yeah, I think they kind of like foreshadowed her character just by having the little like lizard eyes and everything. You know, she's kind of just presents as like not very trustworthy.
I think one of the first things I was doing as the episode was going on, I know you were,
alluding to her being very boring. Yeah.
I wonder. I was looking at the kids and wondering if these were kids that at some point that we saw were eventually were going to become inquisitors, but none of them looked familiar. Who knows, maybe somewhere in the future we will find out more about them. That being said, I mean, there wasn't a lot going on in this episode, but this one didn't feel like that first episode when it felt like Groundhog's Day with Omega, and the same thing happened over and over again.
Yeah, to me it just like had such a lull. Like this person has no emotion, and you're gonna make that the main character of the episode, just following around with no expression. You know?
But at the same time,
great.
They're bringing out her emotion without really showing her emotion. And
they're showing like her becoming emotional in a way that's so slight it's almost unnoticeable.
but it's definitely there. I mean,
it is
obviously
there,
if it wasn't there, I mean, someone that's unemotional, doesn't care, isn't gonna bring that little kid a toy so that they can feel a little more happy there.
But I thought at one point before she actually took the toy out, when she sat down, I thought she was actually going to take her glasses off and like, you know, shed a tear.
Be emotional.
Like, be emotional, right? But it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well,
no, she just kept kind of like staring off in the distance, like.
Apparently, we can't have everything. So.
Apparently not.
I mean,
he's actually the opposite of Omega if you think about it, because Omega's so overly emotional about everything, right? Yeah. So and they're sisters. So yeah. I never really drew that comparison until just now.
Until now, look at you. Boring old Emery.
And who knows? Maybe she just sat there and said to herself. Maybe after the camera went off, she took the glasses off and said, how can I how can I portray this in the most boring way possible?
I have to try harder.
Maybe the two of them are a forced dyad, and Omega brings the personality, and then they become one person.
Yeah, I think we might have taken that one a little too far. Yes.
So you're saying they melt together?
Oh, they're gonna do the Dragon Ball Z, you know, the fusion thing.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was cool to see Bane again. Mm-hmm. Saw Tarkin.
Yeah, that I kind of thought was weird. Didn't you guys think it was weird that like a couple episodes back we see the Emperor himself saying, "You're gonna get all the funding. I don't care. We want this success." Blah blah blah. And then we have Tarkin saying like trying to shorten the leash and be like, "Oh, how much resources do you need?"
Yeah.
Well, I also think Tarkin's not aware of what's going on over there either.
Yeah, right. I think the Emperor was kind of close with Tarkin there.
Yeah. I mean, but even there were some things that the Emperor kept to himself because Tarkin just wasn't going to understand.
Yeah, because he's not. He's just a human, like not a Force user or whatever.
And I'm sure if at any point he had cut off resources, the Emperor would have put Tarkin in his place very quickly.
I agree. Because, yeah, we've seen the Emperor, like, personally there, and we know that this definitely means something to him, right? So.
Yep.
I mean, this is his future, so this is his immortality that we're talking about. So, yeah. This is priceless to him. So I get it. But yeah, that being said, do we anything else you guys want to cover?
Yeah, I think we should move on because same thing. If we start talking more, we're just gonna start getting into stuff from the next couple episodes, I would say. So.
All right, so I'll cover this one.
Once we get to the end of it all, then we'll kind of have
we will come back and
more of an open discussion about all of it.
All right, so episode 11, which was The Point of No Return, directed by Nate Villanueva, written by Amina Rose Munoz. It says here, CX2 sneaks aboard Fee's ship, retrieves Pabu's location from the navigation computer. Concerned about the risk of staying on Pabu, Bad Batch are preparing to leave when CX2 arrives and confirms their presence. He destroys the Marauder, seriously injures Wrecker, killed GONKY.
I don't know if GONKY's dead.
But anyway, and calls for reinforcements.
It's possible. I don't know.
With their means of escape cut off, the rest of the Bad Batch evade their pursuers while Hunter tries to steal an Imperial gunship. He is shot down by CX2, and Omega decides to surrender herself to spare the people of Pabu, and hoping the Bad Batch can follow her to Tantus. However, Crosshair's attempt to plant the tracker fails as CX2 leaves with Omega. And even I gotta admit, when I sat there and saw that tracker didn't hit, I mean, there's a small part of me that said, yeah, this is kind of how it has to happen. But at the same time, like, no, no.
Yeah, it was pulling strings, right? In that episode, was that?
Yeah,
it was all because of Crosshair's shaky hand, right?
Yeah. But when he said
oh, we
I'm
lost you there for a sec, Andy.
What?
We lost you there for a sec. I didn't hear what you said.
You lost me.
Yeah, your mic cut out.
My mic cut out. All right. Let's see. All right. Hopefully it doesn't cut out this time.
What did you say?
Test? Oh, okay. So yeah, to me, like when he was talking about shooting the tracker, I was like, he's probably gonna miss because he hasn't been really the greatest at shots lately. And then he misses, and I'm like, but again, like a little part of me was like, come on. But then, he missed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yes, he did.
And
But yeah, remember I was saying, like, I don't know why they keep going back and forth between, like, Pabu. Like, even if it is a chance to keep it secret, the best way to do it is not to just keep coming back and forth. Like, they're eventually going to find you. And, here they are. Here they are, the Empire.
and Omega's going back to Tannis again.
Well, I mean, I think, personally, at the moment that Asajj Ventress found them, I'd be ready to move.
Yeah.
I would have already been starting to get things together, starting to get things packed up. And I understand, they were in the process of doing just that, but you need to move faster. It's unfortunate that it worked out the way it did, but I mean,
up until reading this, I didn't realize that we had a name for CX2. Did you guys realize that?
I didn't realize that was his name. No.
Yeah, until today, reading this on the notes, I didn't realize they had a name for him.
For CX2? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
The other guy was. I'm not sure if they did in the other episode. Like the first assassin was CX1.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just, I guess, like.
Okay, yeah, fill in the blanks.
Well, I wouldn't say fill in the blanks, but I think when he was activated, they might have said his name or whatever, CX2 or something like that.
It's possible. Right. I'm pretty sure I missed it though.
But I mean, yeah, pretty sure I missed it too. But I'm assuming that's when they said it. But anyways, yeah, CX2.
But I mean, all that aside, I thought this was actually a pretty good episode. I mean,
yeah, I like this one.
It furthered the narrative very quickly. You knew it had
a lot of action, a lot of fighting.
A lot of it, everything was at stake. Gotta admit, when you see Wrecker turn around, he's like, he runs for GONKY. You almost wonder if he didn't make it out of there.
What do you think, Swamp? Is he alive?
I don't know. I think he can survive anything, of course, but
he's thick-shelled. I think so.
Yeah. He's our defective power droid.
All right.
One of these days, you gotta rock a GONKY shirt, man. You're gonna have to get one.
Yeah, I don't have one, but maybe I'll have to get one.
If I ever find anything, I'll definitely send it your way.
All right, sounds good.
But yeah, I think this episode of 3 so far is probably the best one.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to cover here, or we want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, might as well move on.
Okay. And I can cover 12 too. It doesn't bother me. Right. So we're at episode 12, which is Juggernaut, directed by Stuart Lee, written by Ezra Nachman. And it says here, CX2 returns Omega to Tantus, where Anne-Marie tests her blood and confirms that it's what they need. And obviously, by Palmcrass's notes to the most boring way humanly possible.
Boring Emery.
Hemlock takes Omega to be held with the other young Project Necromancer test subjects. Once the Imperial forces leave Pabu, Crosshair suggests to Hunter and Wrecker that they get the location for Tantus from Admiral Rampart, who is imprisoned in an Imperial labor camp on Erebus. With Fee's help, they infiltrate Erebus, hijack a prison transfer vehicle, and escape with Rampart. On Fee's ship, Rampart explains that no one knows Tantus' coordinates, but he is willing to help them find the facility in exchange for not being returned to the labor camp. To start out, I like the turn of events where they find themselves going after Admiral Rampart.
Yeah.
I even like some of the cross conversation between him and the was it an Juggernaut that was there that he was talking to?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the two of them are arguing back and forth, but neither one understands each other.
Yeah. Something that was kind of interesting that I just figured out just now, because I was like, oh, this one's written by somebody different than most of the other episodes. So I looked it up, and they actually did the season 2 episode 7, the Clone Conspiracy, where we had the Rampart stuff. So it's kind of interesting.
I could help with it. They know the character well, so that'd be understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I mean, like I said, I like what they did with bringing Rampart back into the fold. It's definitely going to help set up the last couple of episodes of the series.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I thought they killed him off.
I think they said that too, right? They're like, he's still alive or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
I think.
It was a nice surprise when they said his name. I was like, Rampart? He's still around.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean, we had just enough going on that we could push the story, but you could tell they tried to make this a little bit of filler at the same time. But I don't think, I think this is where we've reached that point where this is probably the last real filler episode we're gonna get. I mean, because you figure you're gonna spend an episode trying to find Tantus. You're gonna probably spend an episode trying to get Rex aboard to bring his armies with him, and then the last episode is gonna be spent going after Omega, getting her free, and whether or not she actually ends up with the Bad Batch in the end, that's gonna be another story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or will the Emperor show up and kill them all?
That could happen too, but probably after everything went down. The question is, will Hemlock survive this? Which, if she gets away, I don't see it happening.
Right. Yeah, that's a massive failure. Not acceptable in the Empire. Absolutely.
And as Vader spoke of the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, the Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. So, I mean, I would not be surprised if Palpatine showed up, found out what happened, and oh boy.
I wouldn't.
Everybody.
Like I was saying though, or alluding to, like I would not be surprised if Hemlock is successful or some other Imperial steps in and they are successful in keeping Omega and dispatching of the batch.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how it goes. But what about you two? What do you think of this episode? You know, I'm kind of going on and on about it, but
yeah, I don't think it was terrible. Like I enjoyed it. Definitely a bit more of the boring Emery, actually boring Hemlock too. There's a part where he's just like rambling on, or like not really rambling on, but just like softly talking for quite a long time. I'm like, is this going anywhere? What is going on right now? And then eventually they wind up at the room where they show, introduce Omega to the other children in the project there and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there was parts of this episode in the trailer. So like there was, I remember going back and we were kind of going, oh, what are they doing? Oh, who's that in Wrecker? So yeah, it was Admiral Rampart or just Rampart, and yeah, no, it was a good episode. Like I think there was one scene, I can't remember if it was in this episode or another one, but where Hemlock, he was in where all those pods are in Tantus, and he was like, he had just closed it. I'm just like, when are we gonna get to see what's in these pods? Like, are they gonna show us or not? Like, you know, all the pods that the Emperor saw or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. With the specimens,
the specimens and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And like on his pad, you actually see, I don't know if when he was after he was done talking to Tarkin, I'm pretty sure he pulled up like two scans of, I don't know, it looked like troopers, but I wonder if those were they could have been the assassin droid, the assassin ones too, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if that's like, if all of those are in the pods, are these clones that are turning into these special assassin units, or
the covert ops,
or if it's
CX like, units or whatever.
Because I mean, he hasn't perfected any cloning yet, right? I don't think, because he's still trying to like.
Well, he definitely has cloning technology. Just a matter of
he's not doing it the same as Nala Se was doing it or whatever.
Yeah.
They haven't found like whatever.
Yeah, they're definitely doing something differently.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, we also know there's all those whatever large species that they were talking about, right? And that part of that has to be part of what's in those pods for sure, we would imagine.
Yeah, could be.
Because like, remember we had that plant, the vines, the scary scary vines.
Scary vines, yeah.
Whatever those were called, I can't remember, but
scary vines.
Scary vines. Yeah, so that was whatever not a failed, a left behind project of his. So we know there's some degree of stuff along those lines, right?
Mm.
And they captured that Zilla beast too in previous season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where that ended up.
Yeah, I would imagine Hemlock has it somewhere, right? Like, because he's the one who took off with it at the end, or captured it, or whatever. So.
Yeah, I the one thing that I've been loving about this series, and I think it's in most episodes, especially when it's like when the scenes are with Hemlock and on Tantus and all that stuff, very eerie tones, like music wise. The score of this whole season so far has been like phenomenal. Like for me, anyways, because it kind of reminds me of like it's giving me like a Blade Runner feel, like sort of that like sci-fi, like I don't know, in those movies, like it's got like a very eerie tone, right? So and very like electronic, and I don't know, but it's really good. It's I'm really enjoying the music a lot.
I think that's one of the things I was gonna say, because I mean, you mentioned before Swampgrass that he came off sounding boring. It's like when it comes to Hemlock, I mean, where you might find it to be boring, to me it comes off as creepy, and like that borderline creep that I'm a little. It's like, you worry me, man. What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I felt when I was listening to him talk.
Yeah. I feel ya.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys want to say about this, or?
I'm just trying to look up the name of those Gary Vines.
The I can't think of him now. Yeah, I can't think of the name of him right now. But, yeah, I mean, overall, the 4 episodes that we ended up watching, they did what they needed to do. What do we have? 3 left. So let's
Is there 3 left? 15 or 16?
I think I thought it was 15.
15, yeah, it shows. I'm on the Wikipedia right now, so 15.
Yeah, 3 episodes left. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Into the Breach, Flash Strike, and The Cavalry Has Arrived.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a small part of me that kind of almost wants to wait. Just kind of like wait out and just kind of watch it in one big jump together.
Maybe the last 2 episodes.
And I understand that, but I mean,
is any of that a double, or is it 3 weeks?
No,
that's
it's all
3
singles.
single episodes.
Okay.
I'm expecting that last episode to be long.
Yeah, a little longer.
Hopefully.
But
with any luck.
Definitely better not be shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, but like the next couple, yeah, I'm not. It's like, I don't know. It's like maybe yeah, I'm just thinking silly or whatever. But I'm feeling like I want to get. I don't know how to put it. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to say that I want to get more out of it by watching it all together, or not that I really think I'm going to get more out of it. Just I feel like if I sit there and I watch 20 minutes, I'm just going to sit there. And
you just don't want to wait week to week. You want to watch it all in one.
No, I don't. It's probably the best way to put it, yeah.
This is the climax of this series, kind of right now.
And the funny part of it is, when they first announced Bad Batch, I didn't really think I'd be all that excited for the end of it, because, quite frankly, I wasn't all that excited in the idea of a Bad Batch TV show. They did a good job of converting me over. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I was at first just excited because I thought the characters were cool, right? When we seen them in the Clone Wars or Clone Wars, right?
Wars,
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, and then it turned into a whole other thing. Slither vines, that's what they're called, guys. Yeah, it turned into a whole other thing. So yeah, it's interesting. I think I had said this before, but I think the character development that has gone into this show has been quite good. It really got me loving all these characters.
Yeah, they did a great job. They did a great job with it, because I mean, I'm not gonna go around and say I absolutely I love the Omega character, but I absolutely hated the Omega character when they first brought her on. I don't necessarily hate her anymore. At least I'm not gonna go so deep as like, oh, she's my favorite character in all of Star Wars. No, not. It's not all that, but I mean, they did a good job of building her character enough that I'm worried about what's gonna happen. So, to me, that's.
What about you, Andy? What do you think about Omega? Is she your favorite?
I want to find that person that thinks Omega is the best character in Star Wars universe.
You know, there's somebody out there.
There's got to be somebody out there.
Don't act like
now that you mention it, right?
It's like, don't act like I'm making this up.
There's somebody out there, man. Just like there's somebody loves GONKY, you know.
Oh yeah, there's somebody out there that loves Rose Tico.
Yeah,
there's lots of people that love, Jar Jar.
Well, nowadays.
Yeah.
Back then, not so much.
Not as much. That's true. Yeah.
But I'm gonna circle back to the whole, because when you had said you can see Omega going off with a vet at the end of this series or whatever, me going, yeah, I don't want to have another series and see Omega, so I'm not excited if she's gonna be still around.
Yeah, well, especially because later we see that there's not a lot of Force users around. So if they just keep adding more Force users, what happened to all these Force users? You know.
I don't know.
See, I think that's where you start to look into some of these characters, and it's obviously, if the Inquisitors had to go after some of these characters, they were strong enough that they needed an Inquisitor to go after them, and they were a threat. So they brought in an Inquisitor to handle it. Obviously, if the Inquisitors couldn't handle it, they either were killed by Vader, and then Vader had to go handle it himself, and so on and so forth. There might have been some of them that were just so weak, they just didn't care. They're not worth our trouble. They're not a threat to us.
But even for instance, Ezra and Ahsoka, the way that series is going, we know they have to either go away or die at some point, right? Because in Luke's era, nobody even really remembers the Jedi and stuff like that. So it's
yeah, but even at the point of where they currently are in the timeline, whereas what is it, Mandalorian universe, about 5 to 10 years after Return of the Jedi now, I mean, Luke Skywalker is just starting to build his Jedi temple on Ossus.
Right.
You have Ahsoka, who's still technically not a Jedi, and she's kind of traveling the universe, trying to take care of this problem this threat that is working its way back. Ezra hasn't been part of the picture in how long, so he's just getting back into the fray.
That's true.
You now have Sabine, who I still don't think is much of a Jedi. I'm not really going to give her that yet. And
but she can jump like one.
and that's what
Especially
it's all
with
about,
the jetpack.
And then again, you get to some people that may have just been overlooked by the Empire, some people that may not have been strong enough that the Empire considered them a threat, and maybe even in some cases, some people the Empire just couldn't get to. We still don't know the extent of how big the Inquisitorius was.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we know,
Mm-hmm.
there was probably at least 20 Inquisitors. Because we've gotten as high as what? 8th brother, 9th sister. So you've got to figure we're probably in the ballpark of about 20 Inquisitors altogether, if not more. Or we know there might be a 23rd brother that we didn't even know about. But I don't want to get into that just at this point. Yeah, maybe they all we've learned about are the ones that were actually threats.
Yeah, like as much as like I feel like the Skywalker story is a bit beat to death, I would love to one day see like a Vader show or movie where he's hunting down Jedi, Inquisitors are hunting down Jedi, just slaughter of the Jedi, and he collects their medals and their lightsabers, right, in that book. I can't remember the exact title. It might even just be called Darth Vader. But yeah, definitely a story I would love to see on the big screen or in a show. One day.
One day.
Or maybe even Star Killer as part of that. That would be pretty dope too. Because that was part of his story as well, right?
But I don't think we're gonna ever get that. I mean,
yeah. Well, it would be a long shot since it's not technically canon at the moment, but they could.
I feel like the only way you would ever get that is if they found a way to make him an Inquisitor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They could bring him in as that kind of a role.
Yeah, I'm just not 100% sure that. I don't know that I want that at this point. Because I think all the things that made me love the Star Killer character would be so missing from an Inquisitor Star Killer.
If they bring him and it's like a Disney Star Killer character, is he going to be like as good as the Star Killer that we know and love today, right?
And I think that's what it comes down to, and I just have a feeling that's not going to happen at all. So
right.
As it's Disney'd.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything else that we want to cover?
I'm good.
Again, I still predict the Force Dyad, Emery, and Omega. It's going to be.
It'll be one.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
If it happens, I don't know what I'll do.
I feel like there's something I wanted to say, but I don't remember what it was now. And I'm not going to sit here forever trying to figure it out.
But yeah, we definitely went over a lot of stuff today. This has been a pretty awesome episode.
Yeah, I think we had it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
As of right now, our next episode will be slated for April 27th. Now, how do we want to do that? I mean, I kind of want to do this one online with you guys just because we have one listed for the 27th. Next weekend is May 4th. Do we?
Yeah.
So that'll essentially be kind of our May 4th type episode type of thing.
Like, do we want to do that or start building the hype for it now?
Like May 4th?
Like as in commit to it? No, the 27th as our version of a May 4th episode.
Because we technically go every 2 weeks. If we were to go 2 weeks from today, that would be the 27th.
Right. I don't see there being an issue, to be honest. But
or do we want to wait and do something on May 4th? Even though I think you said you're going to.
I can't.
Yeah, I won't be able to.
Yeah,
won't be able to.
We're all busy, man.
Yeah, we all have stuff we want to do that day, Star Wars related, and
yeah.
I mean, unless we wanted to do something on the 5th or whatever.
Friday.
But as far as I'm concerned, I'm perfectly happy with going on to the next weekend, and we can sit there and we can talk about the experiences that we had on the 4th, which I think would be a lot of fun in itself.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll schedule. We'll say our next episode's gonna be on 27th, and we can go from there.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You heard it here first, guys. Tune in.
So
27.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Put it in your calendars.
There's one thing I do want to touch on real quick before I do go. This is something totally different from what I even want to talk about. But to those of you that are out there that have been watching us and listening to us, and number one, first and foremost, thank you. Because I mean, for 3 guys that just sit here and love talking about Star Wars, I in no way ever thought that there would be people actually out there listening to us. And I mean, whether you like what we have to say, hate what we have to say, wish we never said anything at all, whatever, just thank you for listening. It means a lot.
It does.
On Twitch, we currently have 49 followers. And again, thank you. We're 1 away from our goal of 50. So if you get a chance, and if you have an opportunity, go to our Twitch channel, give us a follow. We'd love you for it.
That's right.
At the same time, we have old episodes up there on Twitch. You could also catch those episodes on YouTube. You can catch old episodes from this season on Spotify that we try to post up as quickly as possible. And definitely go follow us at all those places as well. Throw a rating out there if you like what you hear, even if you don't like what you hear, because we can't fix what we don't know we're doing wrong.
And something I want to mention too, if you do go to YouTube and check out the episodes, make sure you hit that like button, because if you do watch a video that you like and you don't press like, then YouTube thinks that you didn't like it. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're watching YouTube videos.
and then again, if you're there, hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
If you're looking at it right now, just the fact that I said hit that subscribe button, it's probably lighting up right now. Like, push me, click me. Go do it.
That's great. Yeah.
So, but again, more than anything, after doing this for as long as we've been doing it, just want to say thank you. I'm having so much fun doing this, and I want to keep doing it, and whether people listen or not. But
we love talking about Star Wars, so
it's just talking. Yeah, we're just talking.
But the fact that you do listen makes it even better. I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Agreed.
So, that being said, anything else you guys want to throw in?
Star Wars is awesome. No,
hashtag Gonky's alive.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm holding on hope for the fella.
Little feller.
The hero of episode 3 or 4 or whatever it was when they were in the jungle. Yeah. And one thing I do want to mention, not really Star Wars related, but the what's it called? X-Men 97 show has been airing on Wednesdays along with the Bad Batch, and that's been pretty awesome watching those shows kind of in unison to new episodes of new shows. And if you guys haven't checked that out, if you do like the Marvel stuff and you've watched X-Men back in the 90s, it definitely is super awesome, guys. Very well written, very well done. It's quite good. Quite good.
He was right. I've only watched 2 episodes. It's pretty good, but we don't talk about that here.
No, just wanted to throw it out there as kind of end of the show, little note for anybody out there who's interested.
End of the show. What swamp grass likes. This is what I like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
All right.
It's true.
All right. So then, swamp grass. Where can we find you, bud?
So I'm on Twitch like a lot, almost every day, doing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stuff, Monday to Friday, usually 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern kind of thing around that time. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after the Galaxy of Heroes streams, I also do Marvel Strike Force. So busy a lot with that. Sundays usually do, if we have Grand Arena going on in Galaxy of Heroes, then I'm doing that then. And here on the podcast with these two guys. So that's the main places you can find me. I don't know if I said it. Twitch though, Swampgrass4 or twitch.tv/Swampgrass420 is my Twitch channel.
Nice. How about you, Andy Beats?
I'll make it nice and short. Twitch.tv/Andy_Beads. I stream there. I can't give you a schedule because I don't know when I'm going on usually, but I try to go on Saturday, Friday nights and Thursday nights. Kind of went backwards, but yeah. And Marvel Snap is my game that I play.
Nice. I'm Darth Eldor. You can find me at twitch.tv/Darth_Eldor. Finally got a lot of my old setup back together. So I'm going to be trying to get back into it now. Probably starting tomorrow. I'm getting back into the Grand Arena side of Galaxy of Heroes. That's what I wanted to talk about real quick. We don't talk about Galaxy of Heroes on this show much, but they did make a big announcement this week that they're going to take the game Galaxy of Heroes, which is a mobile game, and they're going to put it on a PC client. And so those of you that are out there that may have looked at this game and said, it's a phone game, I don't ever want to play this game, it's on my phone. It's going to be on PC. Give it a look. It's a great game. It's a fun game. As a person who plays it's
the most successful Star Wars game to ever exist.
It's worth taking a look at. Take it from 3 guys who have played it to death.
That's part of the main reason why we don't talk about it on the show, just because it can potentially take over, because all of us have played it for a long time, and it's very easy for us to ramble on about it. So,
but I did want to at least mention that much. And I'm sure these guys here are as excited to see it on PC as I am. I'm hoping it'll grow the audience, it'll make the game bigger. And yeah, that's all I had to say about that. But that being said, twitch.tv/Darth_Eldor. Like I said, I'm gonna be back into the flow again now that my setup's back together. And then from there, hopefully, I'm gonna be on YouTube Darth Eldor, back to my usual self on Twitter, X, whatever the hell we want to call it these days. Also at Darth_Eldor. So yeah, back into the flow, back into doing the things that I want to do. And then every couple weeks we're gonna get together here on Shadow Collective Star Wars podcast to do more episodes, talking Star Wars, having a great time, and sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So those of you who have listened tonight, thanks for stopping by. Those who are going to listen in the future, thanks for listening to us. We'll be back again in a couple weeks with episode 8 of season 2 of the Shadow Collective podcast. And may the force be with you. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. One thing I forgot is I was going to plug my YouTube channel. I started doing what's called Sons of the Forest content. So for anybody who's interested in that, I do have a video that I just came out with a couple weeks ago on, if you want to find that, you just search Swampgrass 420 on YouTube. But also for people that are listening on Spotify, I just wanted to quickly go over our socials if you guys wanted to check that out. So for the podcast here, youtube.com at the Shadow Collective podcast is where you can find us on YouTube. For Twitter or X, twitter.com/TSC_SW podcast. We're on Discord as well. You can find our links on most of our socials, and Instagram.com/TSC_SW podcast. And on Spotify, I think you can just search us, right? TSC.
It's the Shadow Collective.
Oh, it is the Shadow Collective?
Yeah, you just type in the Shadow Collective, it'll pop up.
Okay, so yeah, that's where you can find us, guys. Go ahead, Eldor.
On that note, once again, that's another episode of the Shadow Collective podcast. We'll see you in a couple weeks. May the force be with you always.